Today's meal in the old Halogen, another roast dinner. This time it's going to be roast chicken and roast tatties and vegetables. We have our vegetables already prepared and put in the steamer. Obviously that's your choice, so we're not going to go over the vegetable thing. You do what vegetables you like. This is just our particular favourite. We always do them in the steamer again because it's cheap and it does the vegetables lovely. So we're just going to show you how to run through this one and do a lovely roast dinner in the good old Halogen.
Okay, we're preheating the oil. I've just put a little bit of vegetable oil in. We're preheating it at about 180, and while that's heating up nicely, I've parboiled some potatoes. They're tiny tatties this time, so we've done quite a few in there. I've parboiled them for about 20 minutes. All I did was cut them in half. Generally with potatoes, when I roast them, if you can get the nice big ones, you cut them into 3, and because you cut them at those angles, they go really soft inside and really fluffy. So that's just a little tip, but today I didn't have any of those. They had these small ones at the shop, so drain them off. Okay, and then I give them a little jiggle around to distress them a little bit, and they go nice and crumbly, and those crumbly bits will then go nice and crispy. Okay, that's heated through. I'll pop it on there, mind the hot plate, lift it up, put this in there, and then I'm going to make sure all of the potatoes, you see they've gone nice and crumbly, that's going to be perfect. Make sure all of your potatoes are covered in the fat, the oil. I'm going to pop a teeny weeny bit of olive oil over them, because they go nice and golden with that. So we need to make sure all of the potatoes are covered in oil. So when that's done, you need to do all of those. I won't go through all of that pain of that for you, watching every potato being covered in oil. Okay, and then I'm going to drop, these are defrosted, make sure they're totally defrosted. Pop them in the middle, and I'm going to use the fat that runs off of these to help give these roast potatoes their flavour. So I'm not cooking them in foil today, so they should all cook around about the same time. So when you know all of your potatoes are covered in oil, my good old seasonal, Schwartz seasonal, love it. I'm just going to sprinkle it over them all like this, and then set the timer for about 35 minutes, and then come over and turn them over. Okay, so we're half an hour in of our cooking, and let's have a little look and see how things are coming along. Potatoes are going lovely, the chicken's looking good, and all of those lovely fats and juices are running off the chicken. So what I'm going to do now is just coat a little bit on these here. Keep them nice and moist, but I'm not putting it on the chicken because I want the chicken skin to be crackly. Keep an eye on them, and in a minute I'm going to turn those potatoes over so both sides get cooked. There we are then. So I'm now going to give it another 10 minutes and come back to it. And meanwhile, I'm going to turn it up to about 200, but keep an eye, depends on how quick you want to cook them. And I'm going to pop the steamer on now for our veg. So that's it. I'm going to go off and have a cup of tea.
Sounds good to me.
It's time now to turn the potatoes over. They're looking absolutely gorgeous, and all the crispy bits are sitting on there, looking lovely. But I want to turn them over because I want the other side to go nice and crunchy and brown. So that's all I'm going to do now, just be turning them over. But I am leaving the chicken, I'm not turning the chicken over. Okay, if you just zoom in on here, Al, we can see that the chicken is beginning to cook a little bit quicker than the potatoes, and I want the potatoes crunchy. So I'm now going to move the chicken to the outside and then allow those potatoes to come into the middle where the heat's being directed down. And these ones here that are particularly white, I'm just going to balance on there so they're nearer the heat source to go crunchy. We're about half an hour before the vegetables will be ready, so everything's dead on time. I can pick that one up. Okay then, so they're now at the edge, continuing to cook but not getting the force of the heat.
So how long has that been cooking now?
In total, probably about an hour.
Right.
Right, so they're all turned over ready, and now I'm just going to sprinkle just a tiny bit. I don't want to overdo it, but it just gives them that most amazing flavour and colour. That's it. And then we're back off now, and in half an hour our meal should be ready. Okay, it's been cooking now for about 25 minutes, and the last time we timed it. What I've been doing is pulling up any roast potatoes at the bottom that aren't quite as brown and crispy as I'd like, almost making a pyramid so they get the heat. But that's it, that's cooked now, that chicken's cooked. I don't want it to go too dry. Nice and crunchy, crispy. So I'm going to serve it up and just leave us to eat it.
Ooh, and the veg over there looks pretty good too. Well, here we are everyone, a lovely dinner, lovely chicken roast dinner. As you can see, it's absolutely superb. When you pull your potatoes and chicken out of the halogen oven, try and use a fork and get rid of as much fat as you can. And if when you get it out, if you want to make sure the fat's even more, use a piece of Fiesta and put it on there first if you like, and sponge any fat off. And then put it on the plate. Make sure there's no fat on the plate when you do it. It looks horrible if you get any fat. Make sure you soak any up that comes off. Get rid of it, and then put your vegetables on, and you get a lovely dinner like this. And of course have a lovely big cup of gravy waiting. I'm a gravy man, so I've got to pour it on in a minute. So I mean, it's just waiting to be eaten. So I'm sorry you can't eat this with me. You're all going to go hungry. Anyway, keep the faith. Derrickton33.com is my website for DIY, and obviously Derrickton33 is my channel. Keep on watching and keep up the faith.